Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV, the new edition of our online interview episodes here. We want to get an update from Revival Gold, and Hugh Agro, the CEO, is here with us. Hey, good morning to Canada. Actually, you are in Vancouver now. How are you?
Very good, Jochen. Yeah, it's early morning here. Just finishing off the VRIC conference in Vancouver. We've got the AME, two big industry events in Vancouver this week.
Okay, super. So there's a lot going on, and I think a lot is going on in the gold markets, in the silver markets, especially after the election and now inauguration of Donald Trump. You are a miner in the US, so how do you feel about the Trump administration now? I think it's positive for mining, isn't it?
Look, I think it's positive for business overall in the United States. Deregulation and emphasis on domestic manufacturing, domestic production of minerals, and of course, security of supply. So I think the basic industries, energy and mining, are going to see some support from the federal administration. I wouldn't count on miracles, but so we got to continue to do good work. And of course, we are environmental stewards, and we take responsibilities around doing good work and proper work very seriously. So we'll continue to focus on those things in our communities, which ultimately are the supporters that allow these projects to proceed.
Fantastic. So you were working a long time here already on the Beartrack-Arnett project, which is a fantastic mining project. I'm pretty sure that you bring that also in production for sure. But it looks to me a little bit like the Mercur project is really now on a little bit more on the fast track. Especially, I think you had some good developments with neighbors, right?
Well, we have. The thing about our new Mercur project acquired last year in a share transaction, which really augments our portfolio and fits well with our team and our presence at the Beartrack-Arnett project. These are neighboring states, these projects. The thing that really, what really attracted us to this project is the fact that it's on private ground, which in the United States makes for faster permitting timelines. So although we're further behind in terms of engineering activities, we're quickly catching up. We're targeting to complete a PEA, preliminary economic assessment on the project by the end of the first quarter. And while we're doing that, as you point out, we're continuing to move along with permitting preparations at our Beartrack-Arnett project. So Beartrack-Arnett in Idaho, Mercur in the U.S. state of Utah, both moving along, and with Mercur the forefront of our efforts to move towards production and free cash flow.
Fantastic. Can you give us a little bit more of a more precise idea with Mercur? You will have the PEA for sure, and I'm pretty sure that will look quite good, those numbers. What would be then the next steps to really move on the fast track forward?
Yeah, we're working on the details of the permitting schedule alongside of that preliminary economic assessment. Generally, what we have here is a 1.6 million ounce resource. We are doing a remodeling of that resource, Jochen, as we take in additional data and do more rigor around the scope of the resource that we'll exploit under the PEA. So look for a tightening, more compact resource, and look for something in the order of a plus or minus 9-year mine life. We think we can do this for a capital cost of less than a couple of $100 million and generate something in the order of plus or minus 80,000 ounces a year of production. So those are our objectives. So we've still got a lot of work yet to do, but those are our objectives with this project. And what's really attractive about it, I've mentioned already, it's on private ground, so that makes for a simpler process. We go through the state agencies for permitting, and secondly, we're located about 1 hour's drive from Salt Lake City. So this makes this a project that's relatively easy to access, staff, and develop, and that's important. And again, you remember with Revival Gold, we were all about choosing these brownfield sites where gold has been successfully produced before, and that's the case with this Mercur project. Gold has been successfully produced from this site in the past, and we've collected a land position that now amounts to about 6,500 hectares. So it's a large land position, large gold system, and marching towards economics. Now, I want to step back for just a moment and mention that Revival Gold is really a domestic champion at a time when the United States, and we started talking about this on the outset, is looking for sources of domestic production. Our neighboring project in Idaho, the Perpetua Stibnite project, just got its record of decision. Hard-won ground with federal permitting there, but that is going to be a real shot in the arm for mining in the United States and specifically in the state of Idaho, one of our locales. So this is really important for investors to be aware of, this growing resurgence of interest in the U.S. for domestic production of metals.
Okay. So what else could you do on Mercur to really fast track the thing, let's say to pre-feasibility, feasibility study? Because I think you must not drill that much more. You have so many ounces gold altogether combined. And I think you really can move now the needle, right?
Yeah, I agree. We've got a lot of ounces. No need to do more drilling, and certainly not interested in doing a lot of drilling that dilutes our share count right now. But I do think there's lots of things we can do around permitting with respect to Mercur and moving that project from its PEA to a PFS and ultimately a feasibility study and a construction decision. We're looking at something that's going to be in the order of about 3 years in timeline. We'll have more to fine tune on that as we progress through the PEA and the permitting schedule activities. Really, these gold projects, it's a trade-off here between advancing the project and minimizing dilution. And when you've got 6.2 million ounces in the ground, some $17 billion worth of gold in the ground, that's not going anywhere. The trick is to manage our dilution and progress the projects in a responsible manner.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now let's say with Trump and all those new things which are happening positive for mining, that is great. What is your principal view on the gold environment? Let's say maybe also on the M&A environment. How does that probably help you also here in the not too far future?
Well, as you very well know, we're seeing a very strong gold market driven largely out of the East, central bank buying, but I think also as we see rates decline, markets decline, real estate decline in China specifically, gold is the go-to investment vehicle, and so there is a lot of buying out of the East, and gold is strong. We're not seeing the Western institutions, the generalist funds, jump on this trade yet. So I think investors have lots of time to position themselves. And valuations, of course, are very compelling, very attractive. But the outlook is solid. And I think what this does in terms of M&A is really turn up the heat for M&A. We've seen outside parties come into Canada and the United States. Indonesian group buying the Eleanor project from Newmont recently. The Chinese buying an African gold mine from Newmont and a Peruvian operation from Pan American. We've even seen money coming out of Egypt, funding various different vehicles. And most recently, we've seen some Turkish interests skulking around in the United States for projects that give them exposure to better geography and, of course, the metal gold. So there is international recognition that gold is a really good place to park your money. And as the U.S. dollar is subject to this new American administration and all its forces, I think we're going to see more of that. I think we're going to see more foreign interest in gold, and we're going to see more interest in gold projects because, of course, that's the only place we can bring more gold into the market is from new projects. There just aren't mine lives being extended or being discovered, as we had in the past. It's a very tight market.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, if I look in your presentation, that looks really great going forward. Would you say probably by the end of this decade, meaning 2030 latest, you will be in production with both projects?
Yes, that's our intention, Jochen. Target production of 150,000 ounces a year from a 6.2 million ounce resource base, and potential to double that through subsequent phases of these operations. So that's our vision for the company and for the projects, and I think the landscape for that is right.
Okay, super. Last question: what is your biggest wish on the list for 2025?
My biggest wish is that you're going to continue to smile through 2025. I know you've been bang on with your commodity calls and the companies you're following, and this sector's just starting to heat up. I think we're going to see a lot more action.
Yep, super. A lot more action. That's a great final sentence, Hugh. Thank you very much for the short update. And I have also a very good feeling that things are really working. I'm a shareholder of the company, by the way. I have to disclose that also, just forgot that. And you guys really should maybe have a very close look on Revival Gold, because to my understanding, the stock is way too cheap, as a lot of others are, but this stock is really way too cheap. And I think there's a lot of potential here inside the stock, but also through the developments in the US, in the mining sector, in the M&A. And Hugh and the team have done so far a fantastic job. And don't forget, there are over 6 million ounces in the company. And this is definitely not reflected in the value. This is what I like: undervalued companies in a great jurisdiction with a great management and having a great, really, how can I say that, short-term future in front of that. It's not going too long. And this is what we want, because those are the companies of tomorrow which make the money. So check out Revival Gold. Thanks for watching us. Hugh, also best for you for the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. And we talk soon. Thanks and bye-bye.